Yep, it's raining again. I'd take the moment to point out how much of a bummer that is, but is anyone else surprised by this point? It's been raining like this since, well, like this, I mean, on and off, since, like, pretty much the entire summer began. Even though technically the summer began only about 4 days ago, but, you know, not enough time for semantics. Although, I guess rain is good. I mean, amphibians really do like rain, which brings me into talking about yesterday's episode of Amphibia. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yes, the latest episode of Amphibia came out. It was, let me look it up here. Because, I have some stuff down here, so it's so I know exactly what I know for fact we're going to talk about. The episode that premiered yesterday was Grand Theft Auto and Breakout Star. Now, I'm just saying this right now, they really upped the ante when it came to comedy for these two episodes. Because there were times I was in tears laughing at, like, what I was watching. Actually, hold on a second. There we go. Gotta relax. Gotta, don't go, so I don't get, like, stressed or whatever. Don't want to do that. So, Grand Theft Auto, which obviously is a play on the word Grand Theft Auto, which is not only, crime in real life, but it's also based on a very popular video game, is basically, okay, so they established that, transportation in terms of, motor vehicles, let's say, comes in the form of, giant snails, which, okay, giant snails. And, or, bugs or whatever, but, snails look like to be the popular one. Which, you know what, if SpongeBob can make snails into cats, then Amphibia can do this. Why not? And it starts off with, there's not like a nice, leisurely, drive with, Bessie. That's the name of the snail, Bessie. Then Spring's like, can we get swamp slushies? I hear they have new flavors. Hop Pop's like, nope. And then Polly's like, can we go off-road and really take it for a test drive? And Hop Pop's like, double no. And then Anna's like, can I drive? Sure. Oh, wait, really? Yeah. Which, I'm just saying right now, Anna's supposed to be 13 years old. I'm just saying this right now. She's totally taking advantage of the fact that people in Amphibia, that the people of Amphibia don't realize that they're, driving age limits for, people on Earth. But, alright, way to take advantage of that. I see what you're doing there, Disney. So, Hop Pop gives Anne this manual that she has to read from, start to finish in order to start driving. And it's a pretty, thick book. I guess from the way it looked, it would sort of be like maybe the equivalent of one of the Harry Potter books. And Anne says, are there pictures? There are diagrams! No! So, Anne and Sprague take Bessie out for, essentially a joyride. And, things are going well until they get stuck in this one area where Bessie, hides in her shell. And before this happens, though, they're driving and they pass by this one old lady, and Sprig is essentially using road rage or whatever. And then Anne's like, wow, what's gotten into you? I always wanted to use road rage. And then Anne's like, how is it? And Sprig's like, exhilarating. So then they go off road, and then Bessie hides into her shell, like I said before. And Sprig goes to get help, and Anne is essentially reading the book that Hop Pop gave her on the history of Bessie. And Anne learns a lot of stuff, and essentially she figures out how to better drive Bessie in order to go from place to place. But the side plot in this episode comes from when Sprig ends up hitching a ride in order to go back home, only to run into the old lady who, he was doing road rage to. And the Sprig's like, you think I can hitch a ride? And the old woman's like, oh, I never hold a grudge. And she is totally, like, messing with him the entire time. Because, like, she drives slow. She does the equivalent of, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of, whatever. And when it cuts to her doing the song. And then it cuts back to Anne. And it later cuts to her finishing the song, the old lady. Sprig is like, had enough of this. And then the old lady's like, one more time. And Sprig is like, no. And then when Anne shows up, Sprig thanks the old lady for, giving him a ride. And then the old lady, like, zooms right by Anne and Sprig. And then Sprig's like, pretty sure I just got played. Yep. And so the episode ends with Anne essentially reading that manual from cover to cover in the span of one night. It's very early the next morning. She literally plops the book onto Hop Hop, explaining that, she read the book from cover to cover in one night. Hop Hop was like, impressive. Now all I need is experience. And then Anne just leaves in a crazy ha, 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 like sort of the crazy laugh that you do when it's clear that you've gone insane in the head. And then, like, she leaves the room and Hop Hop's like, I'm afraid now. And that was the end of the episode. And that was great. And then the other half of the episode was Breakout Star. Now, Anne, we all know, is human. And, because she's human, she's already getting, looks from the people of Amphibia. They think she's the monster, etc., etc. Well, Breakout in this form means, she gets, acne, pimples on her face. And Anne's like, oh no, people already think I'm a monster now. What are they going to think when they see this? And so eventually they do see her, but the frogs of Amphibia mistake her pimples for warts, which, okay, I can buy into the fact that, frogs and toads don't know what, pimples are. So, okay, I can actually buy that. And so the mayor, is trying to, increase his popularity. So he thinks if he befriends Anne, increases popularity, people vote for him and stuff like that. And I just want to point out, the mayor and his sidekick. Well, first of all, his sidekick's name is Toady, which, yeah, I know, he's a toad, so calling him Toady works. But all I'm thinking is a play joke back to A Christmas Story, where it's like, you're either a bully, a toady, or one of the nameless rabble of victims. But anyway, the mayor is voiced by Stephen Root, who, if there are any King of the Hill fans out there, Stephen Root is the voice of Bill. Another fun fact, Stephen Root is also Gordy on Dodgeball. Yeah, Gordy, get angry. That guy. So, yeah, always nice to see Stephen Root getting work. I love Stephen Root. Stephen Root is awesome. And Tony, who's his sidekick, is voiced by Jack McBrayer, which, I like the combination of Stephen Root and Jack McBrayer. That's awesome. So, obviously the mayor befriends Anne, and, Anne starts becoming, like, really popular, but the fame goes to, her head, which leads to two of the best jokes I've seen in this series so far. The first is, Anne, Polly, and Hop Hop visit Anne in her new, mayor's apartment or whatever, right? And this is after, Anne's acne is, gone. She doesn't have the, pimples anymore. And Anne's like, what are the Anne's gonna do? And then they're like, what's going on? And then Anne says like, Anne's? That's what we're calling my fans. And then Polly's like, I don't want to live in this planet anymore. Right out of Futurama. Which, alright, I love me a good Futurama joke. Okay, that works. And so, they decide to go to this one place you can get these berries that are able to stick to a person's face, which are they kind of look like pimples, so they're thinking, okay, maybe it works. Basically, if you couldn't tell, the episode is, regardless of fame, the friends and family in your life are going to be those who will always stick by your side no matter what. And so, they're trying to sneak Anne to get to the berries or whatever. And, Anne gets exposed, and the Anns are, chasing her. Hop Pop stays behind like, look, I have Ann's shoe. And then they're like, Hop Pop, what are you doing? Hop Pop turns around, and right out of Lord of the Rings, he's like, fly, you fools. And then, the fans swarm around, Hop Pop, and that's presumably, what happens or whatever. And don't worry, he's fine. Everything turns out fine at the end. But basically, Anne does a speech where, it turns out that she reveals that the acne was, no longer there, stuff like that. And, she no longer loses the popularity, stuff like that. She's no longer popular, but Hop Pop, Sprague, and Polly show up to, be by her side or whatever, which, is nice. And then the episode ends with Anne saying, hey, I still have the key to the apartment. You guys want to try out the hot tub before they change the lock? And they're like, yeah, hot tub, hot tub, hot tub. And Hop Pop's like, and this got me right at the end. Hop Pop's like, I can't wait to feel those bubbles in my pants. Oh, man, that got me. Man, this episode was just really funny. Like, a lot of the jokes in this episode hit bullseyes for me. I mean, again, humor is subjective, so, what worked for me probably may not work for anyone else, but, man, this show is really coming into its own. Which pains me to say this, but, there's a reason. I told you guys that, they're showing episode 20 on July 18th. Well, believe it or not, episode 20 is going to be the season finale. I almost said it's season finale. They're showing the entire first season of Amphibia in 5 weeks, which I guess isn't unheard of. I mean, there are shows on Netflix that are a season that people binge watch, so something that lasts over 5 weeks, it's not bad, definitely not off-putting. But I'm just sort of worried because I get the feeling they're going to allude to some sort of big sort of self-contained story, and we don't know if, there is going to be, I know that season 2 is technically in production right now, but I have no idea where they're going to go with this. I mean, a similar thing happened with Gravity Falls. Now, again, I wasn't around for Gravity Falls through its entirety, but I do know, the odds and ends of it. And actually, finding out the first season of Gravity Falls, I do believe, was 20 episodes. So, yeah, I guess I can sort of see the even more similarities. Well, regardless of what happens, I'm really glad that, I'm sticking by the show. I'm really glad that, we're definitely a quarter of the way through the season. Yeah, it was 5 episodes, and, there's 20 episodes in the season, so let's see what happens next. Can't wait, though, to talk about it tomorrow. Although I'm going to be very busy talking about it, considering I still have to talk about America's Got Talent, which, yeah, a new episode of that tonight. And I looked up the newest guest of Hot Ones, and for the first time in a while, it's someone I have no idea who it is. A rapper named Schoolboy Q, which I listened to some of his music last night. I am getting old because I'm thinking that stuff is something I do not understand at all. So, if any of you guys are a fan of Schoolboy Q, he's going to be the newest guest on Hot Ones on Thursday, so, can't wait for that. Otherwise, yeah, that's really about it. Not really much to talk about. Hopefully the weather will clear up, but, it's summer. I guess I'd rather have the bad weather in the middle of the week as opposed to on the weekend where people want to be up at, the Finger Lakes and stuff, so I guess it's kind of nice you're getting it out of the way. So, yeah, that's what I have to say for right now. So, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms. I am humbled I made this video. For all of you guys to watch, enjoy for today. I'm hoping we all have a wonderful Tuesday. Why did I say Thursday? Man, I guess I must have Thursday on the mind because of Hot Ones. I mean, today's Tuesday. A new episode of The Burger Show was coming out. Oh, yeah, I also watched The Burger Show, too. But maybe I'll talk about that a little bit more at some point, but whatever. And remember, if you guys don't want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to listen to you, and I'll always have your back. Take care, and make good choices. See ya.